The one and only Just Blaze is joining us. Thank you so much for joining us, man. It means a lot. It is.
Apparently, I just beat you by a.
Yeah, well, we're off to a good start.
Yeah. Hey, a win's a win.
A win is a win.
Listen, I'll take that dub.
Exactly. Exactly.
Everybody look here for 1 second. 1, 2, 3.
So you guys were playing Streets of Rage.
Playing Streets of Rage too.
That's dope.
Is that?
To me, the best thing about Streets of Rage was the game was cool, but the soundtrack.
Soundtrack is incredible.
Yes.
The soundtrack is. You were telling me when you were coming up that you just bought that on vinyl.
I didn't buy it. They sent it to me, but
word.
I shout out to the homies from Digging in the Carts. There was a whole series about different facets of video gaming that some homies of mine did about 2 years ago.
Word.
And the Streets of Rage vinyl, they actually pressed up the Streets of Rage soundtrack on vinyl, which is cool, but I really wish, shout out to Yuzo, I really wish they had done Revenge of Shinobi. To me, that was his best soundtrack. I know Streets of Rage.
This is like a deep cut for people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I am. I'm blown away.
Revenge
of Shinobi?
Oh, it's a dope game.
I'm gonna see if it's on Steam right now.
Dude.
Let's see it.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
go.
see, it might be in that collection.
I think it is. I just dropped that. That's all right. Let me hop out.
I might be able to play that blindfolded.
Yeah, right? If we can get you playing that would be better.
In the meantime, I need to beat somebody up in Street Fighter.
That's good.
Well, would it be in that Genesis collection?
I think it was in one of those random Genesis collections. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Lord of mercy.
This is the world we live in.
Wow,
right?
technologies.
You want to play a game?
We're gonna need audio on this because the soundtrack is real good.
The soundtrack is amazing. This was I remember when we do have to select it in the emulator.
Yeah, you just gotta do go over to the games
The
library.
controller
Is
though,
it-
or?
Yeah,
I think it's that one.
Sadly, it's this weird one. Let's head over. This is under Shinobi.
It's under Revenge. It should be under Revenge.
It should be under Revenge, right?
But you went from P to.
Maybe we didn't grab it. Go back to Steam real quick. Go hit add to account to the right. Yeah, there it is. All
Already
right,
available, so it's there.
we got it. So now hop back into that. Hit play now again. We might need to relaunch this, but
Oh no, it's launching the.
there we go.
There it is, right there. To your right.
Am I right?
To your right.
Oh, there
right
it is.
Nope.
Which one?
One more. Yep.
That Shinobi 3.
Oh, that's.
Let's relaunch this
yeah.
real quick.
You're right.
Just just relaunch it. Hit play now again. I think I need to just redo itself real quick.
So this was the first time. This was right around the time that I was really discovering the art of actually making music of your own.
Shadow Dancer is Revenge of Shinobi.
Shadow Dancer is awesome.
Look at it.
Is that the same thing?
No,
or-
Shadow Dancer is the third one.
Shadow Dancer's the third one?
Yeah, no. Oh, you know what? I think
get it?
Shadow Dancer. I think the subtitle is
Revenge
of the Shinobi.
What's the
This
secret of
is-
Shinobi? Is
no,
this not it? This is not it. All right.
Definitely not it.
We're digging through the archives here. This is I
This is cool.
I appreciate
Let's go back and try to find it. Hold up. So this is all the games you guys have purchased, right?
through this. We can just add everything else through here too.
Let me try it again.
You got it? So you were saying though, Revenge
Yeah,
of Shinobi was
Yeah, me and my mom. My mom is me and my little brother begged her for a week to go buy it.
right.
She finally does. And she's watching us play it, and she's like, yo, this music is cool.
Yeah.
That was the first time. 12, 11 or 12?
All right.
But it was the first time that I think it was the first time that she ever actually paid attention to what me and my little brother were doing.
Okay.
But the interesting thing about it is, the first thing that grabbed her was the music.
Sure.
She was just like this, because it sounded like music that you would almost hear
Already. Well,
Right.
we were talking earlier about on
Well, in Streets of Rage, he was
it's already
emulating.
listed house music.
Yeah,
at
he was
the time.
emulating all the Detroit house.
Right, yes.
So it was all all the inner city,
Yeah,
Big Life.
yes.
I'm sorry, not Big Life. Good Life, Big
Right.
Fun. He was emulating all those records, all the Detroit.
So he had that
Juan Atkins, he
connection.
was doing all that already. So when he got to Revenge of Shinobi, it was all pseudo jazz, a little bit of broken beat stuff,
Right.
or early breakbeat stuff,
I got you. I got it.
to the best of their ability.
Oh, that's up. Oh, is that what it's at? There it is. We had it.
It is.
The revenge.
That's not how you make a
That's
live
not how
reaction.
you do it. All right, I'm gonna give you the controller. Actually, let's make sure the
gosh.
controls are actually good.
Do we have the audio on too?
I'll figure that out.
The thing was, we were playing Streets of Rage earlier, and jump was on RB. So like,
Oh, all right,
yeah,
that's not
yeah, we're gonna back
They
out.
should
real
just
quick.
be like traditional Genesis ABC.
I know. I'm with you.
X, Y, and
I'm just gonna hit it real quick and make sure that we're good on it. Where's that emulator settings? No, I need the damn copy.
so this is Steam.
Yeah, it's on Steam. Sega just released this collection.
I
like
was gonna
this,
buy
and
a
it's pretty good.
one of those Steam. What do they call them? Steam boxes or
Steam boxes are all right. Yeah.
I was gonna
You have
buy
at
one, I
home,
just never
Patrick,
did.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You might have to do it in game.
I must have to do it in game. All right, well, we'll hop in. Full screen. Let's do it. Can we turn it up a little bit? Yeah, I'm gonna give you the controller.
I gotta put my cheat code in real quick. Hold on.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know what the buttons are though.
It's A start. It was real simple. You went to options, and if you still the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold on, if you put your shurikens to 0,
Real.
wait about 10 seconds. You'll get the little. Don't let me down.
I know, right?
There we go.
Oh shit! Yes!
Did that just happen?
That just happened.
Unlimited Ninja Stars.
Welcome to
Let's go.
Waypoint.
What website do I work for?
The best one, Patrick.
Apparently the wrong one, because you didn't know that.
Yeah, right. You're out.
You didn't know that. You're out of here.
This place, you need to be a senior reporter ever. You let me know.
Anytime.
Demoted.
Anytime. Although, so,
All right, let's get the
all right,
controls right.
so my Ninja Magic is now on Y.
Okay.
Which isn't right. I have no jump button.
Try RB. Yeah, see?
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
why
all
it's
wrong.
like
All
that.
right, hold up.
Hop out. We do a hard hold down back. And that'll just back it out. We'll just relaunch it real quick. Hit down. And then reset console.
Reset
Y.
console, right. So this is a full-on emulator. It thinks it's actually.
Yeah, they
All right,
and it's official, right? So like,
Right.
they
But we
just-
gotta get the button inputs
yeah,
right.
we'll just go to the button input thing and fuck with it there.
The button mapper would be.
It'll be in
You
the
gotta
same
get outta here.
settings. You'll be able to fuck with it there, probably. Try to just do it in the game itself.
No, that didn't exist back then.
There might be a way to just like flip it around with like
much-
3 different
I'll
settings.
I'll bet you. Listen, I have Grand.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's at the
down.
bottom. It's at the
I
bottom.
was saying, because I'll bet you right now it's
Input
not
options.
happening.
We got it.
If they're actually emulating the console,
Yeah,
there was no button mapping.
All right, here we go. ABC. There, okay, that's all.
All right, so A would be.
Yeah, AB.
Why did they make this so complicated? Replace.
A is probably fine.
Yeah, down pressing.
Wait, I think that's on the wrong thing.
X is already in use.
Yeah, replace it.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
B.
Place
Replace with Y.
with Y. Yep.
Yep. Now C. Place with. Wait.
Yeah, B maybe.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
X,
works.
Y, and B. All right,
All right.
so now can we just back out?
Yeah, we back out. All the way up top is done. Left one. There it is.
Hey, listen, I'm an OG nerd, all right?
I got you.
this
You
right.
back
Oh,
out and then go
oh,
up,
Yeah.
right?
All right, I'm not an OG nerd.
No, you still got your.
I spoke too soon.
Play.
Spoke too soon. Spoke too
All right.
soon.
Here,
All right,
put
let's
your
do it
code
again.
in again. Put the code in again.
Yep.
God.
The moment between us figuring out if it was still gonna work, though, I was afraid.
Yeah.
Me too.
I didn't want you to be wrong. It was gonna bum me out.
Oh no, listen, I've tried this on every emulator I've ever had. It works every time. So now exit is now X, so X, Y, and B. All right, cool. Let's try this again.
From the top.
Damn. All right.
Let's see how far I can get this. Listen, you know the thing is, as I got older, oh shoot,
Still fucked up?
nah, that was my fault.
Okay. Okay.
Hit
Okay.
that button it was last time.
Yeah, as I got older, I just wanted to get through the games faster.
Sure.
When I was younger, it was about collecting everything you could and being super precise. As I got older, it was just like, no, let's just get it done.
Just move through it as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So you still playing stuff now? No time.
Little Street Fighter here and there.
Yeah.
Some Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat, even more so than Street Fighter, at least for me,
Yeah.
is like riding a bike.
You just hop back on it like the combos make sense
Yeah,
the same way.
you lose your edge for about 5 minutes, You get back in, you're good.
Who do you play as?
In Mortal Kombat,
Or whatever, yeah.
in Street Fighter, normally Ken.
Okay.
Backups are Blanca. If in extreme need, maybe Chun-Li.
What are you defining as an extreme need? Like if you're pushed by someone you can't
There's
work
because
out?
there's still even I mean I haven't played 5 much, but in 4,
Yeah.
you can still kind of button mash and you can still kind of button mash and spam a bit.
Right.
So if I come across like an extreme spammer rather, I might die. I would have to go against I have to bring out Blanca or Chun-Li.
Okay.
Shout out to Boy Wonder, he's the ultimate cheese spammer.
You're gonna put him on blast right
That's a
now.
high
All
comp.
Twitch.
Shout out to Toronto. But yeah, no, he loves to spam with Blanca. But that's what made it hard because his spam is Blanca.
Right.
So it was hard for me to
Like counter, yeah.
So you gotta go down.
Where's the?
It's a lot of 12-year-old muscle memory happening here. Hold on. All right.
Yeah, is it an attack that you open it up with?
No, you just right. Then you go back, but you have to go all the way to the end.
Oh,
if you already, I know that I have to go backward, but if I don't
but
get to that
you didn't
point.
trigger it yet, so you can come back. Right. Of course, video games. That's how it is.
Not supposed to do that, but now I can go down here.
So you're a Sega guy as a kid then?
Yeah, I never had Nintendo anything as a kid. So great story, which I've told a few times, but it's probably the most applicable here. So my parents separated right around the time that the shoot.
You got it. You got it. Ah.
Oh, I'm out.
Shit.
I'm out.
I believe in you.
Still up.
You can do it, Jimmy. You're the best.
Oh.
So the
You gotta use that magic.
like I wasted it
at the beginning.
right?
Yeah. Right.
So around the time that my parents separated was right when the first when the Master System came out.
Right.
So oh come on, you make me do this again. All right, yeah, we did this. And there we go again.
Yep.
Wasting the magic.
If you move quick, you'll still get to use it. We'll see.
Yeah. So we used to visit, hang out with my dad on the weekends.
Yeah.
And that one weekend that we were with him was when the Master System came out.
Okay.
And the Master System, when you're that age, like
Yep.
$100 is a lot of money.
It feels like infinite money.
Right. But the base system without the light gun was like $89.95.
Right.
So I remember being at the Mill Creek Mall in Secaucus with my dad and seeing the base system for sale at Software Etc.
Oh yeah, I bought a lot of stuff
Yep.
at Software Etc.
So I'm like, we gonna get this. I'm talking to my little brother, man, we gonna get this. So my dad used to have, I had one brother, one sister. So back then, the 80s, the standard child support payment was $100 a week.
All right.
So I knew that between my child support payment, my child support payment alone was $100.
Uh-huh.
The Master System was $90.
That comes right
I
out of
still
that.
came up on $10. So I said, all right, check this out. Dad, if mom says it's okay, can you use because you had to pay $300 a week, $100 for each kid. Is it cool if you use my money to buy this Sega? He said, if your mom said it's okay, then yeah, I don't care. So I called my mother, I said, yo, Mom, is it cool for Dad to buy us a Sega? She said, yeah, if he wants to spend his money, sure.
Nice.
You never
made that connection.
I never made the child support connection.
Good.
I gotta jump over this. So he buys it.
Of course.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
It's all right.
I forget how I used to skip this. So he buys it. We come home
Oh man.
from the weekend. He hands my mom $200. She said, Greg, where's the other $100? He said, well, you said the kids can buy a Sega.
Uh-huh.
So she said, nah, they said that.
Yep.
Oh, this was like the most cheesiest, easy one ever. Hold on. characters, double jump.
But at that point, you had the Sega.
Right, but
Uh-oh.
it wasn't in my hands.
Oh no.
So she's like, Greg, you tell me you used the child support money to buy a Sega. He said, yeah, Justin said he called you.
Yep.
and that you said it was cool. So at that point, my mom's realized I ran a scam.
Right.
So she said, check this out. I'm not gonna make your dad return it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna put it on my dresser. In the box, still sealed. And you can't play with it until Christmas. Meanwhile, this was summertime.
Right. You're just dying to play.
That's ice cold.
So she's like, nah. You can mess around all you want. You're not playing with this thing until Christmas. And if I find out that it's been touched,
Right.
it's done. I'm throwing it out.
Were you someone at that point who would totally go touch shit?
I did, yeah. No.
All the time.
I was playing Astro Warrior a week later. And I would just pack, I bought a roll of Scotch tape. I saved up like $1, bought some Scotch tape, and just...
Like from your lunch money or whatever? You just like quarter here and there?
Nah, I don't need lunch, I need Scotch tape. So every time I thought I would play it, I would just seal it back up. And there we go.
You got it.
And she eventually figured out that I was, what I was doing.
And running another
But
scam.
yeah,
Right.
but I was the king of scams. So my brother and sister have the same birthday, September 18th.
All right.
That's the bomb, right?
Yeah, you got it.
It's so crazy how certain muscle memory you don't forget certain things.
I mean, you must have played this how many times, though?
Oh,
That's the
nonstop.
other thing, is like when you're young, you don't get a lot of games.
Right.
So you just play Revenge Shinobi, you play whatever it is, like a billion times.
Play that over and over.
You were playing Streets of Rage 2 earlier, we got to that alien boss. I was
Right.
like, oh, go underneath the head, there's an extra life under there. I haven't played this game in years, but like, I have it.
Right, it's in your head.
Yep.
So here's the part where you gotta go, there's 3 logs. If I'm not mistaken, hold up.
All right.
Let's see.
Yep.
Stressed out. I'm stressed out.
Good jumps.
Ah!
Shouldn't have said
Damn close.
Shouldn't have said nothing.
So so my brother and sister have the same birthday, and their birthday coincided when the first Street Fighter for consoles came out on the SNES.
Okay.
So my brother had gotten, I think, about $200-something for his birthday that year. I forget how old he was turning, but it was the first birthday that he got a lot of money.
All right.
It was enough to go to Kmart and get Street Fighter and a Super Nintendo.
All right.
That had just launched, I think, the week before. So, get off that bomb, right? So then,
That's all right.
took his birthday money. I said, you want to play Street Fighter? He said, yeah. I said, all right. Took his birthday money, went to Kmart, bought a Super Nintendo and a Street Fighter, and rode it back on my GT. See, I had plenty of console scams as a kid.
You had to.
And
Like-
back then especially.
Was that a situation where it was just like what drew you at that point? Was just like, oh yeah, it's games. Of course, I want to play new games all
You know
the
what?
time.
I was a big arcade kid.
Okay.
I grew up in that last generation of arcades.
We're like-
And at the
like-
same time, you're seeing games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Altered Beast,
Yes.
Space Harrier. Remember, at that point, Sega was the king of the arcades.
Yep.
So you have Sega Genesis with a lot of the, for that period, near perfect arcades.
Exactly. The ports came over and they looked
near
just like.
perfect arcade ports. So at that point, you're seeing that Genesis commercial that, and the games are exactly the same.
Right.
All right,
You got it. You got it. 2.
same
Alright.
point though.
Next
This is
time.
my last life.
This is
Try
it.
again. This is it. Old head ain't got it like he used to. But yeah, so
Out of practice.
For me, it was more so about having the arcade games in the house,
Right.
which is funny because now I actually have.
Like some cabinets.
Yeah. Like,
What do you have?
Machines, yeah.
Well, the first one I bought was a Super Sprint machine. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of
Super
course.
Sprint, but I started with I had the one with the 3 arcade wheels.
Yeah.
Baseline, historic New York studio that I owned. We were across the street from a fencing school.
All right.
So the people, oh no,
It's close.
the next one. The people who owned the fencing school, their son was in the business of restoring cabinets.
Oh,
I
okay.
might not make this.
Ooh, close. And you got the block. And you're like, fuck it, the magic.
All right, now
Magic
we might be
hour.
all right. We might be all right.
What are the chances that you're across the street from a dude that repairs arcade cabinets?
Right. So, and I didn't even know about it. What happened was the guys that used to work for me would disappear on their lunch breaks. And I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, you can curse, by the way.
Right? No, it's going on. I'm not a family, my mom's is watching.
All right.
Probably. All right, here we go. Hold up.
Oh, that was it. That was it.
So,
You continue?
we got,
Gotta
He
continue.
has to. I don't know if he can leave before.
No, we have to get past
Over
that
that
level
wall.
at least.
we have to get past that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say at the end of this, you don't fight Batman. Well, you know what's interesting?
Is it Spider-Man?
Depends on
Right.
They
so
took it out.
Batman,
They took it out.
They took him out.
But, like, when this came
certain
out-
emulators still have the old code.
Yeah, but none of the ones that you actually pay for.
Right, so
they
people
took
don't
all out.
know.
Not true.
Oh, really?
I bought an emulator on a Game Boy, I think Advance.
Like a
Oh,
car.
okay.
It was a card.
And it had like the
games on it,
old.
and still had
Still
the
had Spider-Man?
Accidentally.
So yeah, when this game came out, like Batman is in this game, Spider-Man was in this
control.
game.
I gotta start over.
Yeah, you gotta
Mother
start
scunt. So anyway, what was I saying?
Cabinet, the guy across the way was making cabinets.
Right.
Yeah, disappeared.
So guys that worked for me are disappearing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, yo, what are y'all doing? So eventually they like, yo, you ain't seen across the street?
Mm-hmm.
I go across the street. They have fully restored. Here we go again. Neo Geo cabinets,
Oh, word.
like with multi-carts in them.
Yep.
A bunch of Capcom cabinets, X-Men vs. Street, all the classics.
Yep.
Basically, and they're all on sale for like not too much money.
Right.
But then I don't know how hard you guys nerd out on the 80s, but the thing that caught my eye, you remember the old cartoon Mask?
Yeah.
They had a condor in the window. So I'm like, y'all have a condor in the window, and you got a bunch of 80s arcade.
Uh-huh.
What are y'all doing? And this is a fencing school. What are y'all doing?
Right. What is really
There's
going on?
no
Right.
fencing.
That fencing
happening at
school
this-
was
Right.
a front.
And I never see anybody fencing,
Right. Of course.
ever. Like, who fences? So,
That's a great-
In New York, in
Yes.
Midtown Manhattan.
Right.
So I talked to the lady. She's like, "Oh, this our son. He used to be in the toy business. He was a toy. He used to sell at toy conventions, and then he does this arcade thing. We don't know what it is. But he
Right.
does
It's
this
just
arcade.
their kid. They let him do
Yeah,
whatever.
we let him set up shop in our
Yes.
school. So I'm like, yo, give him my number. So he calls me the next day. He's like, yo, I used to be a toy dealer. My new kick is restoring arcade cabinets. So I bought every cabinet that he
All of
had. All of them.
So what do you have now? So you-
I gave most of them away.
okay. Okay.
Because it was like, I live in New York. At the time I was living in New York City.
Right.
City. Where do you put them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
But I
question.
bought everything. I bought Super Street. I bought all the Neo Geos, X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Those Neo Geos are slept on because, first of all, like they just had like a real unique graphical style, and there was like 4 in a cabinet.
Hitting that button and like going between the games.
Yeah, it felt
Oh,
good.
that's-
For me, like that feeling, now that I think about it, felt like going to a Toys R Us and like looking at the things, like, oh,
Hell
which
yes,
one
I'm gonna
games
play
do I
King
want?
of the
But
Monsters.
see,
Yes.
but how old
Yes,
are you?
you would.
True story. How old are you?
I'm 31.
All right. So I was a kid, and you missed this wave, when Neo Geo was actually a thing that you could buy
No,
in stores.
I absolutely did. I had a
Wow.
babysitter
Shit,
named
though.
Man.
Yeah, the console was like $600.
Like
the game
$600.
was like-
Super-
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I remember going over and he was like, "This is like literally an arcade machine."
It's the arcade
Absolutely.
in your living room or your
Absolutely.
bedroom.
And it was great.
Yeah, I didn't get that until many years later.
It was super expensive. They just re-released it recently as like
Yeah.
the gold edition that was cheaper and like
Yeah,
had some
I
stuff,
saw
which is
that.
cool. But yeah, those games are all real good.
What I
was
did
like
was,
fucking with those.
Shout out to, this is somebody you should probably talk to actually, if you haven't already. Neo Legend. Do you know about
Alright.
Neo Legend?
Nah.
Don't.
So they're a group of dudes out in Paris. They make their own cabinets.
Okay.
And they have a custom, it's kind of based on Hyperspin, but it's a fork of Hyperspin.
Okay.
But you can go to them and buy a fully done cabinet, finished cabinet, with anywhere from, depending on kind of what you loaded up with,
Yeah.
anywhere from 500 to about
Jeez.
8,000 games.
Damn. And it's like custom cabinet, like with art and shit, or is it
Yeah,
just like
you can get a custom with art and everything.
Sounds good.
So I was in Paris I was in Paris last year, bless the dead, right before those terrorist attacks out there.
Right.
And I was hanging out with some of my homies from Red Bull. We were doing RBMA.
Right.
And we were at a show one night,
Nice.
and Jesus Christ.
Ah.
And the arcade had like one of those multi-arcade cabinets
yeah.
that had like 10 games in it. So me and Torsten, one of the founders of RBMA, we just started talking reckless to each other. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna find a cabinet out here. I'm gonna find somebody that makes cabinets. He said, yeah, sure you will.
And of course. No, but that is the most Paris shit in a way. Like, oh, we make custom arcade cabinets with
2 days later,
Of course.
so I put the word out on Twitter. I said, Twitter, I need help. I need a custom arcade cabinet with as many emulators as possible. Literally, 3 days later, at the Academy, I had a cabinet with 6,000 games in it. Everything from the latest Capcom stuff, which at the time was, I guess, Street Fighter Arcade Edition,
Right.
all the way down to Pac-Man. And
At that time, you were in the studio. Were you playing? Like, were you taking breaks to go play games? Was it just a thing to like clear?
you know what it was? We would like at the Academy. I kind of just left it up and running for everybody.
Right. Right.
So anybody who wanted to come and play an old vintage game, they could just come and play.
Yeah.
But like in the old days of Baseline, I remember I never had what was the TurboGrafx handheld?
What was that called? Not the Lynx. The Lynx was Atari.
No, that was
right?
Atari. It was the handheld TurboGrafx was called not the Turbo Duo, was the
With the TurboGrafx 16.
no, but the handheld version.
Oh.
You have a computer. Look that up real quick.
Yeah. So I remember I bought that for my homie Jesse.
Turbo Express.
Turbo Express.
Express.
So my homie Jesse that used to run video games, now it's called Video Games New York.
Video Games New York. Yeah. Shout out to Video Games New York.
Yeah, it used to
We got a bunch of our shit.
Yeah, a lot of our shit came from BGMY.
It used to be called Multimedia 1.0. I almost bought that store before they moved.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course
Why
you
not?
did.
Jesse was trying to sell it to me, and I was just like, I don't know if I want to get into the vintage collector's business, so I didn't.
It's a great
But,
store.
I bought a Turbo Express from him. Actually, he gave me a Turbo Express that he had on sale. And
How many batteries did that thing take?
I think 6 AA's or something crazy.
Yeah, that adds up.
That's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
That
No.
could be worse.
But there was a Galaga for it, and Del Guru was a Galaga fanatic.
Okay.
So he broke my Turbo Express because he was so frustrated because Galaga kept whipping his ass.
Right.
That's reasonable in my book.
Galaga's
But
hard.
Galaga's one of those never-ending games. There's no end goal in
You're
sight.
not gonna beat
It's
Galaga.
not like this where I'm gonna beat Neo Z.
Right,
It's
right,
just
right. I love you just had that. You were like ready to pull out the dude's name.
Yeah.
Of course.
oh no, because I bought it and he was like, yo, let me hold that. All right.
You just gotta
Never
be careful.
again. Never again.
Yeah.
Speaking of let me hold that reminds me of the time I had the Dreamcast. No, the PS2 about a year before it came out, even
You
in
looked at-
Japan.
Oh, word.
I had a
Like
beta.
a dev kit or whatever.
I have friends in high places.
Again, of
Back
course
then.
you did.
Right. Right.
So I'm working on some album at the studio I used to work at called The Cutting Room.
Yeah.
And Sticky Fingers from Onyx,
All right.
who like at least to the public eye was the scary one at the time.
Yeah.
I was playing Street Fighter EX Alpha Plus 2 on it. Nobody had ever seen anything like that. It was the 3D Street Fighter. People were like,
That was like a big deal that they went out that way.
yeah, he's like, yo, let me hold that. In other words, I'm taking it from
Right.
you.
Right. Right. Because
Um,
I'm scared of him. Because
Right, and I'm like,
Yeah.
try me. I must have been like 18 years old.
you like checked out.
Crapping my pants, but I'm like, try me. It didn't go anywhere. And then it just so happened I got a pre-release Dreamcast.
Starting to notice a pattern.
Yeah.
And I used to be the king of that.
Right.
I don't care so much anymore these days because it's like I just have a different set of priorities.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
That
back
happens,
then
you
my
know.
thing was if anything technological was happening,
Right.
especially like in the electronic entertainment world,
No back. Oh shit. That's all right.
I had it. I had it
four lives,
at
you'll be
least a
all
year before anybody else did.
Right.
That used to be what I was known.
Did you like the Dreamcasts?
One of the best consoles of all time.
I think so too. We
course.
keep having this
Right
thing
answer.
happen.
Right answer.
We have a Dreamcast out, and people keep coming
Dude,
by who've forgotten that they
where was
love
I
it.
at tonight? Oh, so I was at the barbershop earlier today.
Yeah.
And my barber, one of his hobbies, we're in the same age group,
Right.
and one of his hobbies is fishing.
All right.
So I said, but did you ever catch a big one? And he's like, pause. I'm like, no, Sega Bass Fishing.
Of course.
You
get
caught
the
a big
controller?
one, yes.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
Absolutely.
When I got my
love that
Dreamcast,
controller.
the only thing I wanted was the fishing controller.
It's real good.
Dude, I spent so much time fishing for fish that I never actually caught.
It's not too different than the experience of actually.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
It's-
close in my experience.
In fact, it's a little more fun.
I don't think I ever faked the sport more than I did fishing. If you can even call fishing a sport.
Yeah, I think let them have it.
Are we calling out fishing people?
Yeah, I mean, fishing is
Put
kind of...
fishers on blast.
Oh, hold up, here we go.
You got it! Yeah!
There it is.
All right, you shake it
Shake it off.
off.
Shake it off.
Woo! And 3
Who's
lives.
the boss? Who's the boss on this
Plenty
one?
of
Do you
time.
remember?
Oh, this is the dude in the nightclub.
All right.
And there's 2 bombs. All right. Wow.
See?
Muscle memory is a mother.
It is.
This was the song that my mom liked.
Of course.
It sounded like one of her old fusion jazz albums.
Mm-hmm. Was it a situation where you feel like your musical taste was influenced by this?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I always tell people, like, what am I, aside from my hip hop influences, and like the usual suspects from my age group, like a Marley Marl or RZA,
Right.
Q-Tip, the Large Professor, any of those guys. Aside from that, Yuzo was. Yuzo, okay, I can make this
can make
double
that jump.
I believe, yes. Yuzo was a huge influence on me. Not so much that like I ever made something that sounded like what he made.
Right.
But it was one of those things where there's that thing right there. Hold up. Yes!
Oh, get it.
I still remember all this shit.
Careful, that guy was coming for you.
That was the nightclub. All I gotta do is catch him one time. If I catch this dude one time, I'm good. One time, all I need is one time.
Or you can
And like these games are just.
It's all
I think that
pattern-based.
what the other shit that was out at this time just did not have this sort of like evocative scene. This is a place. This is a nightclub. Like everything else I was playing was nothing like this.
Oh, I didn't use my magic.
You'll be right. You'll be at the past screen though.
I feel
right
yeah,
about-
I'm gonna be a little bit.
Oh, you'll be here.
Oh, no.
All right, perfect.
All right, hold up. In that case, let's use my gym.
All right.
Get him out of here.
You knew the name of the.
I didn't know the Magic even had names in this game.
Of course.
I think it was like 7 or 8 photos. But I tell you, there was like a good 6-month period when I was 11.
Right. That's all you did.
I didn't do anything but this.
Yeah. Except learn the names
And with
of
my
the
gym,
Magic.
the thing is with my gym, you lose a life.
Oh shit. That's a big ask.
And I forgot my fire button. You're supposed to kick him, I think.
Yeah, because you're kicking off like his like shadow clones
Right.
or whatever, right?
That's what it is, yeah. There we go. Bye.
Woo, woo. One more. Just catch him.
Just go away.
Uh-oh.
There it is.
Boom, boom, boom,
Oh,
boom.
caught him.
I think the next one is like a mechanical. It has a fake Roger Troutman beat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh no. This is the airport.
Okay.
The next one, round 4. I don't think I'm gonna make it that far.
Yeah.
Round 4, yeah. Oh, this is the one that they actually. I'm old. So this was the one that they showed in the commercial when they did their first round of a Sega
Oh,
Genesis
shit, right, 'cause you can
promo.
jump behind the chain link on this.
Yeah, that looks
That was a big deal. It was the.
and technology in the Genesis.
Yes.
But this was a big deal on the commercial. Before they showed anything else for this game, they showed this. It was a small teaser. They just gave you this. That's an extra life. I think I can get it.
Oh. So was that where you were learning most about games when you were like 12, 13, was just like whatever's on TV, whatever the commercial was? Were you reading magazines?
No, to be honest, I wasn't really influenced by commercials. Just were the icing on the cake. Like, I remember the first issue of EGM.
Yep.
Literally the first. Oh, come on, give me that.
You got it. You got
Yes,
through at least.
I remember the first issue of EGM.
Yeah.
I
Was
read
that your magazine growing up? Was like EGM? Was
Yeah.
that? I know
Game
that-
Pro was kind of like
Yep.
the commercial.
Yes. Even
Like,
back then, you
if-
felt like no.
It was like the mainstream thing, whereas EGM was like the underground.
Because like
that makes
EGM at the
sense.
time was like doing scans from Japanese shit.
You know what it was? It was like EGM was like Stretch and Bob.
Right. Right.
And Game Pro was like 107.5.
Yep. Yep.
If that makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense.
Like,
I didn't know we
because
were going to be
E-
showing
you know what it was?
shade to
EGM didn't have,
175, but
they were in,
Or Game Pro from
Right.
the 80s.
welcome to Waypoint.
it was I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh, you
Like,
thought the thing, right?
Yeah, it was like EGM wasn't afraid to print rumors, whereas Game
Right,
Pro
right.
kind of went for whatever the press releases told them.
Right.
And because they wanted to be in bed with the companies, at least this is what my 10-year-old
was
self
what
could
you
tell.
felt.
I felt
Right.
like EGM people, like those dudes played games.
Yeah.
Right.
They loved games.
That was like, I almost said this earlier, but like, so when EGM shut down, when they had a website called 1UP that was attached to them for a
I remember
few years.
1UP.
Yep. Patrick was an intern at 1UP.
I never read it, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, totally. When that shut down, that was part of what made me like quit my day job. Like, I got to become a games journalist. I want to write about video games for a living.
Gotcha.
This was like 8 years ago, and it didn't work. I ended up going to grad school. Like, it was
Right.
bad. But that was the start of this. Was 1UP shutting down, EGM closing.
Hold on.
Yeah, continue. There you go. You should still be
You
there.
should be able to start.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we just screwed it up last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, last time I messed it up last time.
And that's the other thing is like the time was just different. Like magazines used to come out and be like, oh shit, this is coming out.
Right.
It's the only way
And-
you knew. That's
Well,
like
that
you
first
couldn't
issue,
look on the
if I'm
internet.
not mistaken, if I remember correctly, the first issue of EGM is where they previewed the Super Nintendo, which at that time was going to have the PlayStation attachment.
Right.
If I remember correctly. I
There was
could
a
be
Sony.
slightly-
It was like a.
It was
or-
right around that
no,
time.
Maybe it's the
Yeah.
other. Was it the other way? Was it the? It was going to be the Super Nintendo CD.
Yeah.
Had a sort
Right.
of Sony code
Sony
thing.
CD.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That was, if I remember correctly, that was the first thing that was in that first issue. Actually, no, hold up. Wait, can I get this, please? Thank you.
Got it.
Jesus Christ. Or was that the? Actually, no. I think the first issue actually showed the initial Super Famicom.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it was
Somewhere
one of
in
the
there.
two. One of the two. I mean, granted, that was about half a lifetime ago.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like back then, all that shit, even when it was like confirmed, still felt like rumors. Like I was saying earlier, I used to come in the city and go to like Chinatown to just find games that weren't out yet in
See, I
South
didn't
Jersey.
have that advantage. Like for me, it was I lived in Patterson.
Right.
So it was whatever you found in Patterson, and that was it. It wasn't until I got much older that I discovered going to Chinatown and finding imports
Right,
and
all that stuff.
things of that nature.
Yep. Well, the thing was crazy back then. It was just like, oh yeah, that's.
Wait,
how
where'd you
I-
go to Chinatown, J&L?
J&L, yeah, of course.
course.
Come on. Or you go across the street from J&L.
Which J&L?
the-
When they were in the mall or when they were?
So I've been to both, the Elizabeth Street Mall one and the one where they're across the street.
Okay.
We're getting into deep New York shit right
Yeah.
now.
Like, this is old New
you go
York,
down-
this is
so
old
like
New
there was
York.
a spot in Elizabeth Street Mall where you go downstairs and there's J&L was down there. There was also just an anime shop that I used to
Yep.
go to all the time. And that anime shop was so busy, they just didn't keep hours. It was just like, oh, it's open.
We open when we feel like
when we
close
feel
it.
like it, and you'll start a line. Like, I gotta get there at 10 a.m. Patrick hates anime.
No,
by
I'm
the
just
way.
shaking. I'm just.
This is important to me that we know the
going.
place.
You know what it is? That was just, to me, that's bigger than any kind of gaming or anything, whatever. It's, there's the one up right. I knew there was one up here, but can I get it? It was more, to me, that's just more about old New York.
Yes, yes, totally. Well, like, you saw Chinatown Fair changed up all over the place.
Yep.
And now they just put out a movie about Chinatown Fair.
Did they?
And like the history of China, like a documentary about it.
I didn't know that.
I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's good. I had someone write about it, but I haven't had the chance to actually read it. But yeah, old New York was this whole other thing. And again, like also just old video games. Old pre-internet, lots of things were different. Where it was a lot of like conversation. You just found out shit because
Word
someone
of
else
mouth.
knew about it. Word of mouth.
Like, yo, homie down the block got such and
Exactly,
such.
exactly.
That's, to be honest, I got my my beta PS2 through official means,
Right.
relatively speaking. But my Dreamcast was some
new
homie. What? Wait, what? That's never
That's some
happened.
bullshit.
Homie up the block got this thing. And because I knew what was what, I went to go, like, yo, they told me, and it wasn't even being advertised yet. Literally a year and a half early.
What'd you have for? Was like Soul Calibur out? Was
No, only thing that was out,
Sonic?
it was a beta of Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh, that game was bad.
Yeah,
It
but
was
like
a
if it was
bad
Dreamcast
game.
at that
It's
point-
terrible.
But at that point, you're only on the PS1
Yeah, but
or
Godzilla
whatever,
looked pretty
right?
fucking cool in that game.
Right.
It looked good,
Yeah.
Right.
but the game itself was terrible.
I paid way too much money for that game,
You're a Godzilla fan.
and I convinced myself it was good.
Yeah, we all did that
Do
a
what you
lot.
gotta do when you spent $100.
I
yeah.
convinced myself so many games are good when I was young. So,
I think you gotta.
The thing is, when you're young and impressed, don't
Shit.
open. All right, here we go.
but yeah, when you're young and like impressionable.
Impressionable. A lot of those games, it doesn't matter. It's is it offer you an experience you've never experienced before.
And then you go to the mat for it. Like you were saying, you grew up mostly with Sega shit.
Right.
Me
Oh no,
too.
so like, yo, me and the homies, my best friend Tommy, he was a Nintendo. His parents bought him everything.
Right.
Like, me and him used to actually, like, we were best friends.
Yeah.
They used to damn near get into fist fights.
Of course.
Over
Sega Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was how it was. And some people still treat that shit that way, which is today.
And now I look at, you know, I still read all the gadget blogs,
Right.
all the tech blogs.
Yeah.
And I remember this one about the top of my head. So, first one is it Kuju? All right, cool, good, done. I see people like, here's my philosophy. 10,000 years from now,
Yeah.
Apple and Android will be religions.
I've heard that. I could buy that.
When you look at the amount of
It's like fervor. It's like.
that's in the comment sections of tech blogs,
Yep.
and the way people stand, and it makes no sense.
Yep.
So you guys
So
realize
you
you're-
like tech, but you don't have that. You don't have that sort of like.
No. At the end of the day, this tech is here to work for us and make
Right.
our lives easier.
Yes.
And when it gets to the point where like you're in the comment section doing what some of those commenters do,
Yep.
oh,
These people who like bought the last phone and now the new one is out immediately.
Right.
They're already jumping up, and not just because like, oh yeah, I have the money right now, but like are spending too much money on it. They're like taking out.
it
they
just
feel
goes
like they
too
have
far
to
after a
do it.
while. Like,
That's
no,
it. So I'm
These
curious.
dudes aren't paying for your kids to go to college.
Right.
If anything, you're
Yep.
paying for their kids to go to college.
Are
Nice,
you
done?
That was nothing.
Yeah, muscle
even paying
memory.
That was warm up.
Muscle memory.
Yeah. So what do you think about like VR, which is this?
I actually spent some time with a pre-release Oculus Rift.
Yep.
Liked it a lot. The Vive seems to be, I don't know, is it pronounced Vive?
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 Five.
The Vive seems to be further ahead. This is the Spider-Man level, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And there's the extra man. Oh no, that's the extra
That's
energy.
the magic.
The Vive's got the controller.
Extra
so you
magic,
can
yeah.
walk around.
Right, which Oculus still hasn't released theirs yet. And it's like, dude,
It's
what are you,
later this year. Yeah.
what are y'all doing?
$100 for that? Yeah, because that's the whole thing.
Right. Meanwhile, PS4 has theirs out, ready to go.
Yeah, at PS4 we have one right over there, right now.
I have one at the house. I have not set it up yet.
It's pretty easy to set up. It's like not as good as the Vive. Vive is like a little.
But you know what? But it's probably the most accessible.
That's exactly it.
Where you just kind of plug a couple cord. You don't need this giant PC
Exactly.
in order to play
And
it.
I think that's where they might win.
And people have PS4s already. A lot of people don't have gaming.
It's a built-in. It's a built-in.
Yeah.
It's a built-in audience.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
I didn't even call someone to ask for the second one. I bought one.
Right.
I went to Best Buy last week, actually.
Just walked in and we're like,
I walked into Best Buy, pulled up in the Batmobile. They're like, I'm like, I just need a PlayStation VR. But the funny thing is, there was two other dudes. Dog on it. There were two other dudes also. It was random. It was like Lamborghini night at Best Buy. So I
they
pulled
also
up.
getting PSVRs. They were just,
No, they weren't getting VRs. One guy was there for a photo shoot. One guy was there to buy.
Best Buy, of course.
One guy was there to buy a. Well, he was just shooting it. He was waiting for his photographer in the parking lot. And another guy was there to buy Disney Infinity for his kid.
All right. Sure.
But it just so happened that three Lambos were all sitting in the Best Buy parking lot at once, and we're all looking at each other like, "What are you here for?"
It's a meeting of the Lambo owner club.
Yeah,
That's-
and I'm like, I came to buy a PlayStation virtual reality headset. And they're looking at me like, "What?" And I'm like,
You didn't try to hide it. You were like, it's for my kid. It's for
"Yeah."
my
I'm like,
kid.
"No." I'm just like, "Yeah." I'm like, I saw it was out.
My cousin.
I was like, "No, I saw it was out. I'll
Good.
probably play a couple times and then put it away." But
Right.
and then the guy was, "All right, I'll admit it. I'm here to buy Disney Infinity for my kid."
Good. Yes.
And I'm like, "Are you sure it's for your kid?"
Yeah, you sure? They stopped making that. You're trying to be a collector. You're trying to get all the
But they
sets.
stupid. They do still sell them at Best Buy.
Well, they're trying to sell them out.
They're trying to get rid of the stock or whatever.
Yep.
Shout out to my homie Johnny V.
What? Wait. You know Johnny V?
Johnny's one of my old.
We know Johnny. Johnny.
I know you do.
What?
Giant
What's going
Bomb.
on?
All right, we got.
Hold on.
All right.
What just happened?
What just happened? We just
How do
got
you know Johnny V?
incepted. He said giant bomb out loud.
Yeah, no.
All right.
I know Johnny for years.
All right.
Since he worked for Midway.
All right.
Where'd you
All
meet
right.
Johnny?
When he worked for Midway.
Because you were in the Mortal Kombat at the time, and at that point you were already doing.
I did a bunch of stuff for him for NBA Ballers.
All right, sure.
And then when he was doing Giant
that
Bomb,
adds up.
he asked me if he could use some of the music for Ballers for his end of the year rap thing.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, yeah, go ahead. I knew that was gonna happen. But yeah, go
Shout out to Johnny V though, for real.
Yeah.
Johnny V. Speaking of Infinity, that was so random and weird. It was like,
Yeah, because
1 second it was killing, the next
It was
second
killing
it was gone.
They just
And-
they made too many of those figures.
Right, they made too many of the figures. I think they thought some of them would do better than they did. And I think it was just like, the thing that's frustrating was like they were getting good at making those games as games.
Right.
So,
See, to be honest, I didn't even understand what Disney Infinity was. I just knew that my homie was working on it
right,
and I was proud
right.
of it.
It's the thing where it's like, if you were 12, you would love it because it was action figures that you put in your game.
Got you.
And that's like, oh yeah, that's what I
The
always
shit you
wanted.
did in your head, you got
Yeah.
to do in a video game.
Yes.
I never really understood. I'm just like, so there's action figures and then there's games. Are kids just buying this just to buy it? Like, what's happening?
Right, right.
I never really understood it.
Yeah, that was it. And that,
I still
people
don't.
loved it. People love it still.
And I thought about it today because I was actually at Best Buy today again.
Right.
And I saw they had like some sign for Star Wars Infinity, and I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I still don't know what this stuff is.
Yep.
But my homie made it or helped make it, and
Yeah.
it was a big deal.
Yeah, he was a big part of that.
Oh, you're still up. You're still alive. Oh. Shit.
You got to be patient.
So yeah, I'm curious about how VR works out because, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where, again, when I was 12,
Right.
it's all I wanted in my life was good VR.
Well, see, so like I'm saying, I had pre-release, versions of some of the hardware, and then I just on my own, I bought like a Google, what was that? The cardboard.
Yeah,
Bought a
Google-
cardboard,
Google
and then I
Cardboard.
had oh, got it.
Shit.
And then I had a few other minor VR apps, but like even just in the little things that I saw, I was like, oh, this actually could be kind of cool. Like, it was all just, they were all, at the time when I was looking at stuff, it was all basically just glorified tech demos,
Right.
Product demos, and
Right.
It wasn't actual games. It
no,
was like little
not at all.
things.
I haven't played an actual VR game yet.
Yeah.
They have like actual games.
They have
like
some.
stuff you'd want to sit. Yeah,
So
but
I
like
bought,
it's starting.
Right.
I got the Batman game,
Yep.
which they say is like the best one really, and then I got what's the sci-fi shooter?
Res.
No, not Res.
Res, you
Which
should
I
get
love Res.
Res.
I had the original
Oh,
Res.
Okay.
You have to
you had
get-
a
With the
drink,
little,
have to
with the
get
little
it.
pack
Right, so you-
that had the vibration
Yeah,
that went along with the beat. I have that.
So
You gotta
need
play
to
that
get
VR.
Res Infinite.
No, I want to. I
Alright.
just haven't gotten it
Because
yet.
they have a new thing in it called Area X, which is new from the dudes who made Res.
Right.
That goes off the rails.
Right.
And it's just.
No, I know. Res was actually the only game I was interested in at first.
Right. Right.
But there's one other one.
Sci-fi shooter. It's on PSVR.
Infinite something maybe.
Super Hypercube.
There's,
Oh.
which is good too.
It's a PS4. We're not.
Valkyrie is just a first.
Yes, Valkyrie.
Spaceship
Yeah.
game.
Space shooter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Valkyrie.
So I got that. I figured it might be like a VR R type.
Yeah, it has kind of feel like I'm trying to think what a good comparison.
And R type to me is
Is
like
R-Type like your-
There was a point where like my favorite genre
Was the
as a
shooter.
kid was R type, Gradius,
Radius, yep.
Thunder Force, any of those
Salamander.
games.
Was
Yeah.
it
Salamander, yeah. Life Force. You ever play Ikaruga on Dreamcast?
Ikaruga, yes.
Ikaruga.
That's like that. Isn't that one super rare, like dumb expensive?
It's gotten dumb expensive.
There we go.
This might be it. This might be the end of Just Blaze.
Hey,
might
hey,
be.
hey! Don't count them out.
All right.
Don't count them out.
You got to root it. Well,
Well, maybe count them out.
Count him out. Count him out. Count him
not
out.
another
He's
life.
done.
Here we go.
God!
What do you do?
I promise you, I did not throw that.
All right,
Hey,
well,
you made it past the log.
you got to master the logs. You made it past like 2 more bosses.
This guy's laughing at me.
It's been amazing having you
Cheering
here,
you on.
Jess.
It just
That was fun.
sounds
That was
weird.
fun.
So good. Thank you so much. You gotta-
That was more fun than just playing Street Fighter and just randomly
Right?
Yeah.
flipping
Totally.
on you.
I'm really. Yeah,
Do you play Street Fighter?
Not. I played 4. I didn't play. I played 5.
Let's play one time before I go.
Play one time.
Okay.